Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports Talk, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your hosts, TJ and Jared. And in this video, we're going to be recapping the NFL trade deadline.
Mhm.
And, you know, unfortunately, have to say the Ravens didn't do anything. We didn't make any new acquisitions or trades. And, it was kind of disappointing, because there was a couple people that was rumored, that had our name connected to them, like Chase Young, Derrick Henry, even Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, which I thought would have been crazy if we added him. And there would have been some players I would have liked to see us go after, like Jalen Johnson from the Bears, their star cornerback, and maybe a guy like Montez Sweat or something. But yeah, how was your assessment of the trade deadline, and who would you would have liked to see the Ravens get, possibly?
I heard a lot of rumors of, Ravens linked to Josh Jacobs last minute, and that was apparently the Raiders wanted a second round pick. And then I heard something along the lines of like the deal was done between them and Derrick Henry, but the Titans owner vetoed the deal, whatever. So, I don't know what's truth and what's fact, about this. We're not NFL insiders, or we're not claiming to be, but I would have liked to see maybe get a star running back like Josh Jacobs. He's a little bit on the younger side. He probably would have worked a little bit better than maybe Derrick Henry, just for the fact that Josh Jacobs is more of like a replacement for maybe like Justice Hill. Because Derrick Henry would have been Gus's replacement, in my opinion. Because then you would have wanted, because I think you want the difference, the differences in the running backs you would want is you want some guy who's speedy, can cut, and then you want a bruiser. So you wouldn't want to have two bruisers on your team, unless you're wild. I mean, but this isn't 2010. This is 2020s football. So would like to see Josh Jacobs on the team. I'd also see us go after one of those pass rushers like Montez Sweat or Chase Young, who did wind up being traded. And then I don't know why. I mean, I feel bad for the one. He went from crap to crap. He went from the Commanders to the Bears. So it's just like, it's a different pile of shit you got to go to. So it's just like, but uh, like I was saying, like I don't like the Bears made a trade, so it's just like I don't know if they can contend with, whatever their freaking quarterback's name is, Tyson, Baguette. I don't know what his name is. So, so like I was saying, like I would like to see us go after maybe a pass rusher. Away's health has been spotty. Ojabo is never healthy. And then we don't really want to rely on guys who are late into their careers like Clowney and Van Noy. And that's not a shot at them. It's just, we've seen how that goes. Where the older guys are playing and they just look raggedy towards the end of the year. You don't want that. So you
Yeah.
want young, fresh legs. So it'd been nice to go get Sweat, or it would have been nice to go get Young, or maybe even Hunter, who wasn't dealt, or Burns, who also wasn't dealt. So you know, disappointed, but not like oh my god, the world's ending. It felt like you know with what we got last year, it was fine.
Yeah.
We got Roquan, and he's one of the biggest additions to this team past Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
past the Ray Lewis era. Besides maybe like Lamar. I think Lamar is probably the most important, but Roquan's probably 1B.
Yeah.
1A is Lamar, 1B is Roquan. So, just such a uh he's got a dog mentality, and I'm really glad that he's on our team and not for the Bears. He'd be teamed up with Montez Sweat.
Huh?
I was waiting for you to continue to talk.
Oh, you just let me out there to fry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He, was a very big. You just let me out there. All right. But it was a very big, pickup, and he's helped out the Ravens defense. Really changed the season last year. I would say
Yeah.
so. I do agree with you there. Um, so did you want to read off some of the trades that did happen, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the deadline trades that had happened were I wouldn't really consider this a deadline trade, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. KC got McCole Hardman and a seventh round pick from the Jets for the 2025 sixth rounder. Philly got Kevin Byard from Tennessee for fifth round pick and a sixth round pick. 2024 fifth round and 2024 sixth round pick. Seattle got they got, I'm sorry. I was saying last video they got Dexter Lawrence. They got Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was saying Dexter Lawrence. I swore Dexter Lawrence got traded though. But no. So I was wrong in the last video about that. But Leonard Williams got traded to Seattle from the Giants for a 2024 second rounder and a 2025 fifth rounder. Atlanta got Kentavious Street from Philly actually for a 2024 conditional sixth round pick. And like I said earlier, the Bears got Montez Sweat from the Commanders for a 2024 second rounder.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like an overpay. But the Vikings got Joshua Dobbs, for the quarterback we just played from the Cardinals, and a conditional 2024 seventh round pick from the Cardinals for a sixth round draft pick. It's always crazy when you see a player getting traded to a team with a draft pick. Like, if you didn't have this, it wouldn't have been enough. But Jacksonville got Ezra Cleveland, a guard from the Vikings for a 2024 sixth round pick. The 49ers bolstered up their defensive front, and they got Chase Young from the Commanders, 2024 round 3 conditional pick for a conditional round 3 pick from 2024. The Lions got Donovan Peoples-Jones from Cleveland for a 2025 third round pick. And the Bills got Rasul Douglas and the 2024 fifth round pick from Green Bay for a 2024 third round pick. So obviously, the trade deadline is not going to be as exciting, maybe as other sports like the NBA or MLB, but it's kind of harder to trade for players in this league, because when it comes to baseball, or the NBA, like, yeah, you have to understand some schemes and understand certain things, but with football, it's like you got to learn the whole damn playbook, so it's so hard. And then players are valued more, I feel like, because draft picks are able to be traded, unlike maybe like baseball, so how is your assessment of the 2023 NFL trade deadline so far? I feel like it's quick. I got here quick.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to say if a team won the trade deadline, I would have to say the 49ers.
Yeah.
As the saying goes, the rich get richer. And they got Randy Gregory from the Broncos, who's a solid linebacker, I believe. And they got Chase Young, who's a young, he's struggled, in his career so far. He was touted as being next, defensive, superstar, and he hasn't really garnered that hype yet. So this would be a new start for him and a better start for him. And they have a lot of young guys on that defense. And not to mention they signed, Javon Hargrave. And yeah, they just have an amazing defense. They just added on to a strength. So, I would definitely say they won, the trade deadline. You have teams like the Vikings got themselves a new QB. Commanders also got a draft pick, kind of working towards their future. So I say the 49ers are just a clear trade deadline winners, in my opinion.
Right.
How about you? How do you feel?
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of clear, bolstering up their linebacking core and then defensive front. I mean, maybe they should have got a quarterback too, but no, but no, but in all seriousness though, very much of a W for the 49ers, so they just, like how you said, rich get richer. So I guess congrats to them, and they needed definitely a spark, just because of their 3-game losing streak at the moment, after their Dallas game. I'm sorry, after their loss to the Vikings, So I mean, or sorry, the Bengals. They lost to the Bengals. Sorry, they lost to the Bengals. So they're not on a good stretch. So they need a little bit, and who knows? Like I said in the one video, I think that it would help probably for Chase Young to maybe just get a different scenery. Maybe he'll play better. Sometimes a different scenery brings out another beast in a player. So I mean, not an eventful trade deadline, but it's not, and it's never really that good. It's never really that like, oh my god, like this happened or whatever. So I'll go to 4 out of 10. Out of excitement, I guess.
Oh yeah, and not to mention the Eagles, like how you said, they did get Kevin Byard, one of the better
Right.
safeties in the league. So that's good for them as well.
Right. And I'm not like bummed out that the Ravens didn't get anybody. I was just like, if there was a glaring need that we really could have put us over the edge, then I would have been disappointed. But like, you know, I'm just not too beat up or upset about us not doing anything. I was upset last year. We got Roquan, but I was like, let's get a wide receiver. But now our wide receiving core is stacked, or at least we hope it is. And we maybe the pass rush can get a little bit younger. We're gonna have our flaws, but like they'll be addressed probably after in the off season. But just I'm not too bummed out about it. I'm really not.
Yeah. So I think we covered everything. We covered the trade deadline and all the acquisitions that happened. We didn't get anybody, but the show goes on. We got a season to finish. We got a division to win, and we're doing pretty good so far. And I expect that to continue. So, yep, that's pretty much for this video. We're Birds of Prey. Is there anything else you have to say?
No, it's
Okay.
finished. Finish the outro.
Make sure make sure you check out our casual cinema. Check out our social medias, TikTok, Twitter, and we're Birds of Prey, TJ and Jared, and we're out.
You're not gonna promise anything about our second channel.
I already know. Previous video.
All right, so we're out, right?
We're out.